There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
The reporter didn't even finish his question. He didn't need to. Angel Reese captured the entire situation in just 2 words, perfectly summing up the WNBA's current dynamic with Caitlin Clark. And now, that dynamic has taken a major turn. Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. She's brought in millions of new fans, filled arenas, and shattered viewership records. But just as undeniable is how the league mishandled this golden opportunity. Instead of fully embracing the Caitlin Clark effect, many inside the league pushed back. They questioned the hype, downplayed her influence, and even mocked her supporters. Rather than seeing her rise as a gift, they viewed it as a threat. To outside observers, it all seemed completely baffling.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The success, the mainstream spotlight, the headlines, the hype, the sold-out arenas. It was everything the WNBA had dreamed of for decades. They finally had their moment. The player, the buzz, the cultural breakthrough. The league stood on the edge of something real. Higher salaries, global recognition, and long overdue respect. But there was a catch. It was Caitlin Clark at the center of it all. For many in the league, this wasn't a celebration. It felt like a loss. Because for some players, Caitlin's rise wasn't just a surprise plot twist. It was the end of a long-held dream. The dream that they would be the ones to collectively lift the league to new heights. And maybe the hardest truth to swallow? After years of being told that fans just didn't care about women's basketball, the fans did show up. They just showed up for Caitlin. This is how life works. There are levels to it. Everyone goes through it. As Diana Taurasi once said, yes, there are levels. And like grief, what we've seen unfold across players and media looks eerily familiar. Denial, anger, resentment, all of it. It's been painful, ugly, and frankly, a bad look for the WNBA. But now, things are shifting. A moment that would have once gone unnoticed has changed everything. The league now sees what's coming, and they're scrambling to get on the right side of history. Let's dive into what happened. But first, like this video if you're ready to watch the WNBA finally embrace Caitlin Clark. And don't forget to subscribe. Now let's rewind for a moment.
Now, if we say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5 points.
By this time last season, Caitlin Clark wasn't just making waves. She was living rent-free in the minds of half the WNBA. She hadn't simply arrived, she exploded onto the scene. Viewership tripled. NBA arenas sold out. Her jersey sales skyrocketed. Every Indiana Fever game turned into a headline event, with fans lining up for hours and scalpers demanding playoff-level prices for regular season tickets.
Caitlin's coming. There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
The jealousy started long before Caitlin Clark ever stepped onto a WNBA court. The hype surrounding her was unlike anything the league had seen, truly generational. She had just shattered the all-time NCAA scoring record across both men's and women's divisions. She led Iowa to back-to-back national championship games, sold out every arena she played in, and routinely sank logo-range threes like they were layups. Then came the WNBA draft. There was no drama, no mystery, just a coronation. Caitlin Clark was the undeniable #1 pick, but more than that, she was the moment. The spotlight was blinding, camera flashes everywhere, media coverage at a frenzy, and sponsors lining up in droves. That's when things got uncomfortable. The league had seen greatness before. Aja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart. All MVPs, all champions, but none of them had entered the league with this level of noise, and for some, that stung. What followed was the first stage of grief, denial. But this wasn't quiet skepticism. It was open resistance. Players, media, figures, even league executives jumped in to downplay the moment. You could see the cracks forming before she ever played a single professional minute.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover?
The one thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her, little girls with their parents, and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, but she was a white girl from the middle of America.
If Caitlin Clark had come into the league and flopped, or even just been average, the old guard would have had their moment. The "I told you so" narrative would have written itself. College is one thing, but the WNBA is a different beast. You don't just walk in and dominate the women who built this league. The hype would have died down, media attention would have shifted, and the veterans would have felt vindicated. But that's not how it played out. Her debut game drew 2.1 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game in over 20 years, every time. She stepped on the court, ratings soared. National broadcasts, sold-out arenas, and jerseys flying off the shelves. Caitlin wasn't just living up to the moment, she was owning it. And that's when the next stage hit. Anger.
While Caitlin is fantastic and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA, there are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silenced when it comes to that.
Once it became clear that Caitlin Clark's momentum wasn't slowing down, no matter how many eye rolls, critiques, or dismissive takes were thrown her way, the next phase began. Damage control, but not off the court. On it. Whether intentional or not, the league started pushing back between the lines. Players took liberties, hard screens, off-ball hits, excessive contact. And the referees? They stayed silent. Whistles were swallowed. It became a pattern. Let her get hit. Let her get frustrated. Let her question if she really belonged. If the hype wouldn't die out on its own, maybe it could be smothered physically. And game after game, it took a toll. She looked tired, battered, mentally worn down. But Caitlin didn't break. She didn't complain, didn't fold. Instead, she leveled up, literally. After the Olympic break, she returned playing the best basketball of her life, MVP-caliber performances. She led the Fever to key wins, shattered the rookie assist record, earned first-team All-Star honors. She didn't just survive the pressure, she thrived in it. And once it was undeniable that the hype was real, we entered stage 3. Bargaining. This is where people try to make peace with a new reality, to rewrite the narrative in a way that lets them hold on to what they've lost: status, pride, control. Because the truth is, Caitlin's rise challenged egos. She stormed into the league and stole the spotlight, and suddenly the veterans weren't the center of attention anymore. So what did they do? They rewrote the story.